Welcome to the Immersive Solstice Miracast and AirPlay training video. The purpose of this video is to provide you with a full understanding of how to enable and use Miracast and AirPlay to better support users and enhance the value of your Solstice deployment. AirPlay and Miracast are native streaming protocols built into many Apple, Windows, and Android devices. While the Solstice app provides the most performant and capable method of sharing content to the Solstice display, support for AirPlay and Miracast allows guests and occasional users to share their screens without needing to install the Solstice app. AirPlay and Miracast also provide access to additional wireless presentation features like extended desktop and confidence monitors. AirPlay and Miracast are developed and spec'd by third parties, Apple and the Wi-Fi Alliance respectively, and thus require some additional IT network configuration to function for users. While Immersive has worked hard to provide the most flexible, IT-compliant implementation of these protocols, the core requirements are set by Apple and the Wi-Fi Alliance. Let's start by looking at the Solstice and network configuration requirements to support Miracast and AirPlay. Miracast requires Solstice software version 3.5 or later. The following network ports must be opened: TCP port 7236, TCP port 7250, and UDP port 5353. In order to enable Miracast streaming, the pod needs to be located within the proximity to the display, and the pod's wireless network interface card must be enabled. I'll cover how to complete the Solstice configuration steps later in this training. For network configuration, please contact your IT administrator. Support for AirPlay has been available on the Solstice pod since late 2015. By default, AirPlay uses Apple's Bonjour protocol to enable iOS devices to see Solstice pods available for connection on the network. However, Immersive also provides an AirPlay Discovery proxy feature for networks that do not allow UDP multicast traffic, or for deployments that span multiple VLANs. I'll walk through the Solstice configurations later in this video. In addition to enabling the AirPlay feature in Solstice, there are also network ports that must be opened to utilize the AirPlay feature. Again, these ports are specified by Apple, who developed and spec'd AirPlay. For more information on requirements, visit immersive.com/network-deployment-guide. Both Miracast and AirPlay are enabled through the dashboard or the pod's local configuration panel. You'll see options for both listed under Client Sharing Options, which is under the Appearance and Usage tab in the dashboard, and under the Display tab in the pod's local configuration panel. First, I'll show you how to enable Miracast through the dashboard and share your Windows or Android device screen using this feature. We recommend that the pod's network configuration is through Ethernet only, in which case you'll need to enable wireless settings on the Network tab. Select Attached to Existing Network to enable wireless antenna from Miracast Discovery and click Apply. Do not attach the network interface to an existing network. This interface will remain idle and will only be used for the Miracast Discovery stage. On the Appearance and Usage tab, enable Miracast, stream video over Wi-Fi Direct, and over existing network. There are alternative configuration options that you can review at immersive.com/network-deployment-guide. To share your Windows or Android device, make sure it is on the network used to connect the Solstice display. To share your Windows laptop, hit the Windows key plus P. In the menu that appears, click Connect to a wireless display. A list of displays appears. If you do not see it in the list of available displays, try scrolling down to ensure it is not hidden. Select the correct Solstice display. If prompted for a PIN, enter the screen key from the display. Your device will connect wirelessly to the display, and your screen will be streamed in real time. To change how your device handles the display, hit the Windows key plus P, then select one of the display options that appear. Immersive recommends using the duplicate setting when streaming with Miracast. Once you'd like to stop Miracast streaming to the display, hit the Windows key plus P, click Connect to a wireless display, then click Disconnect. Now I'll show you how to stream from a Samsung Android tablet via Miracast. Using two fingers, swipe down from the top of the screen to open the Quick Settings panel. Touch the Smart View icon and select your display from the list. To stop sharing your screen, touch the floating Smart View icon on your tablet screen, and then touch Disconnect. Unfortunately, Miracast support for Android devices is implemented inconsistently. If you have a different Android device you'd like to use Miracast with, we recommend you do a quick web search to validate the device is Miracast enabled and for device-specific streaming instructions. Now, let's look at how to enable AirPlay through the dashboard and share your Mac or iOS screen using this feature. Again, for networks that do not allow UDP multicast traffic or for deployments that span multiple VLANs, Mersive's AirPlay Discovery Proxy is available. This feature is enabled under the Appearance and Usage tab. Simply click iOS Mirroring, then enable AirPlay Discovery Proxy. You'll be prompted to confirm your decision. Click Yes, Enable AirPlay Proxy to continue, and apply. To share your iOS device, make sure it is on the Wi-Fi network used to connect to the Solstice display. Next, if you're using the Mersive AirPlay Discovery Proxy instead of Bonjour, users must open the Solstice app and connect to the display before mirroring via AirPlay. Now swipe upward from the bottom or downward from the upper right corner of your screen to open the iOS Control Center. Tap the Screen Mirroring button and select the desired Solstice display from the list that appears. If prompted, enter the screen key visible on the Solstice display. Your device will connect wirelessly to the display, and your screen will be streamed in real time. When you're ready to stop mirroring the screen to the display, swipe upward from the bottom or downward from the upper right corner of your screen to open the iOS Control Center, click the AirPlay button, then click Stop Mirroring. To use AirPlay from a Mac laptop, click on the AirPlay icon in the menu bar at the top of your screen. If you don't see this icon, go to Apple Menu, System Preferences, Displays, then select the Show Mirroring options in the menu bar when available checkbox. Next, you'll need to select the correct Solstice display and can mirror the entire display of your Mac or use as a separate display. If an AirPlay passcode appears on your display, enter the passcode on your Mac. To stop mirroring or using as a separate display, click the AirPlay icon in the menu bar, then choose Turn AirPlay Off. Streaming to Solstice-enabled displays using Miracast and AirPlay is a great alternative for guests and other occasional collaborators who need to share content but do not have the Solstice client app downloaded on their device. Users can also present with a second screen, allowing them to see their notes or the next slide by using the extended desktop and confidence monitor modes. AirPlay and Miracast are native streaming protocols built into many Apple, Windows, and Android devices that can be used with Solstice to better support users and enhance the value of your deployment. While the Solstice app provides the most performant and capable method of sharing content to the Solstice display, support for AirPlay and Miracast allows guests and occasional users to share their screens without needing to install the Solstice app. AirPlay and Miracast also provide access to additional wireless presentation features like extended desktop and confidence monitors. To take full advantage of these streaming protocols, make sure that you meet the necessary requirements and keep in mind that AirPlay and Miracast are developed and spec'd by Apple and the Wi-Fi Alliance, and thus require some additional IT network configuration to function. Both Miracast and AirPlay are enabled through the dashboard or the pod's local configuration panel. Thank you for taking the time to complete this training. Please subscribe to our newsletter if you'd like to receive monthly communications from Mersive, which include notification of new features as they release.